Given that the products in the system are set up so the data is there and the processes are configured, and we have already sales orders in place and reordering rules, the system should be now propagating all of the demand and all of the processes automatically. All we need to do from now on to fulfill all the orders we have is just to observe what the system does and make sure that we do all the things the way that the system is doing physically. Let's start by taking a look at what's happening with our inventory. What type of products we have on the shelf and what are we expecting for their demand. I'll go in here and I could either be looking at them via these tiles, or I could look at them in a list and then I could see a little bit more information. So in here I could see that, for example, some of these cart wheels pivoting, we have 0 of them on the shelf, and we have forecasted quantity of -44. So that means that we need to use up 44 of them and we don't have any of them on the shelf. And then same goes for these plastic bins. So we have 95 of them on hand, but forecasted is -85. So that means that we require more of these things than what we actually have on the shelf. There are also some of these consumables, the bolts and the nuts. We have -40 and -40 in here. We actually just recently purchased them, so we have a whole bunch of them, so we wouldn't worry about these in this case. So there could be some products that you just refill when you need to, and they're not really tracked through the system. So the system will still show the demand like this, but the system will never force you to buy them, because these would be the small items that you just buy in bulk once in a while, and then your staff uses them as they need them. For these bins though, we could see that there's no part number for some reason. It's because there are multiple variants of the bins. There's the red ones and the yellow ones, and we could see that here if I go on variants. So at first I was looking at products, now I'm looking at variants of the products. And see the bins in here, plastic bin, medium, red and yellow. We actually have 45 on the shelf of the red one and 50 of the yellow ones, and forecasted quantity is -135 for the red one. So it's a red one that's really in trouble. Now moving on from here, we could also look at the inventory valuation, so the cost of inventory we have on the shelf. And in here we could see that it's 11,544. So these are all the items that we have, quantities and the total value for them. From now, let's, as I said before, just start following the things that we need to do. So let's find all the things that we have pending, and they will be in these 3 modules: purchases, inventory, and manufacturing. Let's start with manufacturing. We have 4 different manufacturing orders that are in here and that are pending. So you could see that we're waiting for some of these things in here. So we're waiting for materials, nothing is available. So the bin, cart, frame, shelf, so we're making shelves. And then we are also trying to cut some 4-foot tubes, and this operation is actually available. And then we're also trying to make these cart frame tubes. So these are tubes that are bent to be made for the cart. And then we also have the actual shelf assembly, so the full cart without the bins. So we have 10 of these, and it's also partially available for it. Well, the materials are partially available. And you could see that these consumables, so the bolts and the nuts, they're actually reserved for this product already. So these things are not being checked for what's actually on the shelf, because they are set up in a specific way for that. But given that we already have something in here, let's go ahead and just run this. Let's say, for example, I'm a production manager and I need to see what needs to be done today. I see that this is the only thing that's available, and I'll just go ahead and run it. To run this, I simply need to click produce, and the system will ask me how many am I making, and I will say that yes, 60 is the quantity that I want to be making at the moment. So I'll say record production. And at this point the production is in progress, and so whenever I'm done, I could go ahead and click mark as done. And now we have produced these things here, and now let's go ahead and move forward with the rest of the stock moves in manufacturing. Let's start by procuring all the rest of the items that we need to get. See, there are a bunch of RFQs here, pending orders basically. So let's look at them one by one and do all of the necessary operations. We need to buy these plastic bins, the red ones, 215 of them from Plastic Bin Co. I'll go ahead and just confirm the order. And I could send the order by email to the vendor. So there is a template email that goes out. This could be modified. And there is a purchase order that accompanies the email. Here's a standard PO that the system generates. Once again, could be modified a bit. And I would click send to send it out, but in this case I don't need to do that. I'll cancel it. I will go ahead and process the rest of the orders in the same manner. Confirm order, and then now we're expecting a receipt of goods here. The next one, confirm. Tech supplies, a bunch of metal tubes and sheets, a large order in this case. And the last order that I have pending for the cartwheels, confirm order as well. So at this point I don't have any pending orders anymore, but I do have some purchase orders in the system that were already processed. Let's go back to the main menu here, and the next thing on the list is to process all of the purchase orders that we just made. We need to receive all of those items now through the inventory module.